Hey guys, welcome to the Amber Neal Show. It is your girl matchmaker comedian Amber Neal, and I'm joined with my co-host. Y'all give it up to go to my left, to my right, save the best for last. Is that how we're doing it today? Y'all give it up for my co-host. Y'all see every show that I'm on. You'll see us out in the city, out in the community, and you also see him out at some of the biggest venues in the city doing his thing as DJ Houston. He is the most in-demand DJ around, and of course, I'm not paid to tell you all the great places he's part of, but I'll let him do that. Y'all good up for DJ Houston?
Hey, it's your boy. Go DJ. Go DJ. What's up?
It's still Libra season.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm realizing how many Libras I actually know. I'm sitting here. My Facebook is blowing up right now with how many people there are that are Libras this season. So what up?
What up, guys? Hey. And my other co-host, guys, this is Ryan Yarbrough. He is NFL. He's on the NFLPA, the Huddle Up Foundation. He is out in the community as a community leader, philanthropist. He is raising money with his nonprofit for youth all across America. And he is also a best-selling author, Believe So You Can Achieve. Y'all welcome Ryan Yarbrough to the show as well. Hey, Ryan.
What? Chi-town. What?
And if you don't know who I am, y'all Google me, okay? Or y'all can also check me out at amberneal.com. Today's show, we have two really good topics for you guys. The first one we're going to jump into is, have you ever wondered, everybody has different styles of texting, but did you know that the way you text reveals a lot about your personality? So we're going to jump through that. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about 9 things that your emotions are trying to tell you, because sometimes you can get really frustrated and you're really just trying to discern what the heck is going on in your mind and your heart. And sometimes those two things battle each other. So let's jump into our first topic today. How you text reveals a lot about your personality. All right, so let's jump in. Number 1, who is guilty of this? Okay, we're going to just see which one we are today, right? Number 1, if you are the quick multiple texter. I feel like that's kind of me, maybe a little bit, because I send like a bunch, like back to back, ding, ding, ding. Like I don't want to send like a paragraph. If you get the paragraph, then I'm probably really mad at you, because then that's like a letter I'm going off on you about. But if you're the quick multiple texter, these 3 things, that means that you are energetic and impatient, guilty. Open and honest, definitely that, to a fault. And texting comes easy to you because communication comes easy to you. So I think I am guilty of being a quick multiple texter. What's the next one, DJ?
Well, the next one says it's the perfect grammar text.
Oh,
God.
Punctuate. Hey, but sometimes don't you wish they would do it? Because, are you asking or something?
Right, exactly. And it's very hard, because it's already hard enough to tell people's tones when you're texting and stuff. So I can understand, if I'm really trying to convey a point across to somebody, I definitely use that punctuation, so that way they know what my tone of voice is. So I definitely agree, So you have the perfectionist. You are you prefer a face-to-face conversation versus a text message, so that way you can really get those tones across. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're on the phone, you can't see people's faces, so you depend on what they how they sound. And then the last one on that part, you're rooted in logic more than a quick impulse emotion.
Perfect, because there's no impulse when you have to be anal about what you just said.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And it's actually funny because you being a late riser and all, so you're not up early in the mornings like I am. Mm-hmm. I actually was going to send you a meme this morning that was talking about the 2 different types of texters: the ones that do the short little bursts, or the ones that do the long paragraph. Mm-hmm. And I loved it because the guy put comments on there, and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm both. A is for when I'm excited, when you're shooting the short little text, and B is when I'm really mad at you and I got something to say." So I was sitting here like, yes, that refers to me on both ways, because when I'm excited, it's like ding, 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 little text.
Even my daughters got mad at me about the way I text her, because she don't text that way. What about you, Ryan? Are you guilty of either one of these yet?
I'm guilty of. I'm looking through some of the other ones. I'm guilty through a lot of this stuff. But I mean, personally, me being in the age bracket I am, I like the face-to-face.
Yeah.
I like the face-to-face, personally. And that's if I want to talk to you. All right. How about that part? All right. But moving right along to the paragraph texter. Okay.
Ooh.
You prefer detail and context.
Yes.
All right. You enjoy deep conversations. And when it comes to that, yeah, I was good in school. Okay. I was on honor roll and all that, and I like to write. I actually do. But certain times after I keep typing and typing and typing, I'm gonna be done with it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not
paragraph.
gonna keep typing and typing and typing and typing and typing. It's like if
And
we
do you
can't see
read
each
it?
other face to face, or if we can't talk,
Yes.
then we're not gonna be texting.
Do you read paragraphs when people send you
Right.
paragraphs?
People
Do you
don't
actually
even read.
them?
People don't even read those long texts. I don't.
Sometimes I do. Like, it kind of depends.
Who it's from?
Yeah, it depends on who it's from and how the conversation was going before the long text
Right.
message. Like, if I know we were in the middle of a fight and you just sent me a long text message, I'm probably not going to read it because you're trying to explain why you're right and I already know you're wrong. So.
Right.
I love it.
And then the last part about the paragraph text is you're an excellent thinker who looks at all the facts before making decisions. And that's definitely something I like to engage because I don't like to be an impulse emotional reactor.
Yes.
Put it that way.
And any of these guys, honestly, psychology tells you don't text if it's important. I mean, because there's no inflection in tone. So much of communication is nonverbal. Like 55% of communication is nonverbal. So when you don't, and people don't punctuate. So when you're not punctuating, you're like, are you screaming at me? Are you mad at me? Are you yelling at me? Are you asking me a question?
Right.
And I think it's
And
like you
some
said.
of those rules, I don't know the rules.
Right.
I'm ignorant to a lot of texting rules. My texting rules are, like I said, your personal rules. A lot of it goes along personally because some people always text you back. Some people won't text you back. Some people take forever to text you back. Now, that's that person's personality.
Yeah.
Right, that part
That's
right there.
that person's personality.
If we have time, we're going to dig into that. Why do you think people take such different times to text back? Because that has caused so many breakups and strife in relationships where people don't communicate with the time frame as well. Because if you're dating somebody and you text them at like 9:30 at night and you're like, da-da-da-da-da, just be about anything, just, normal conversation. And then they don't text you back till the next day. How do you guys handle that? Do you read into that, or do you just think, okay, they're just busy, or are you really that busy?
Again, I think it goes based on who I'm talking to because I do know there, like Ryan was saying, there's different texters based on their personality. I know there are certain people who feel like text messages strictly for when I have a moment to actually have a conversation, then I'll text you back.
Yeah.
Because there's people, for example, like me and you, we're in meetings all day long sometimes. So sometimes I can't send the text message because I don't have time to read it because I'm in the middle of a face-to-face meeting and I don't want to be rude.
Right.
So I'll text back when I have time. Or there's people that gamers, for example. Gamers are a big, because a lot of times, especially if they're playing online and stuff, they can't pause. So, they're not going to send you a text message when they're in the middle of getting shot down in the middle of their game because they're playing a ranked match.
So much more important than what I have to say.
But then sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. It all depends on who you're talking
never
to.
Is.
But then there's other people who feel like, I have to, it's like they see, especially the younger generation, they see text messages as, this is our new way of communicating. So it's like a phone call to them.
Right.
So they feel like they have to answer it right away, or you have to answer it right away. That's the way they feel because that's their communication style.
Right.
You talk to anybody who's probably born after 2005, and they're going to tell you, what's a phone call? We don't call nobody. Just like voicemails. We don't leave voicemails. If we have something important to you, we're going to text it to you. That's how that younger generation thinks, though. They're not like us, where we had landlines growing up, and the only way we could communicate with somebody was having to stand next to the phone and call somebody.
But where this is bad for the millennials and the generation after that is that communication is a lost art when it comes to dating and relationships.
Right.
and when you're setting yourself up for failure when you go into the workplace, because that's not realistic. Most of the people that you deal with come from a generation where they had phones, they grew up with phones, they're used to communicating with phones, and that older generation X and above, looks at it like that's disrespectful if you're trying to do a deal or you're trying to communicate emotion through texting, and that's where the gap is. It's like, how do we actually use this properly? So today we're trying to teach you guys some things that reveals a lot about your personality when it comes to texting. The next one is the one, this I don't know which one's worse. The next one, okay. The one word texter. Really? Like, especially if I just sent you my paragraph and all you have to say is thanks or okay or it's like cool. But the one word texter, this is what it says about y'all sorry butts, okay? You are, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I did. Sorry, not sorry. One word texter, you are less likely to ask people for attention and you're a people pleaser. And so I can see that. If you're going to do the one word text, you probably might think it might offend somebody or come off bad. So you always want to be that people pleaser. It also says, if you're a one word texter, that you're introverted and more reserved. And that lastly, you are more logical than emotional. Clearly. I mean, what do you guys think? How do y'all deal with one word texter people? Ugh.
I totally concur, because once again,
Are you one of them?
I'm definitely a one word text.
Can't stand you, right?
I'm telling you, I'm like, hey, look, I don't got time for all that. If we want to talk, we'll talk. You understand? But no, I see that. How about you? I'm definitely, like I said, I definitely can be a one word text. How about you, Jake?
Me personally, only if I send you just one word, it's A, because I'm really busy and, like, I'm just trying to acknowledge you and say that, hey, okay, I see your text message. Or B, it's because I'm really annoyed with you, because I hate one word texters. So if I text you just one word or one line or one syllable, it's strictly because I'm either annoyed with the way you're texting me or I'm super busy. Yeah. Those are the only times, because I hate one word texters. Like, it's so annoying, because I'm like, especially if you're in the middle of, you're having like a serious conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden they just text back like, cool. Yeah. How do I respond to that though?
Bet.
Yeah, like exactly. Bet. Like, okay. That's when I send those. It's because I'm trying to end the conversation.
Thumbs up, because once again, it's like, okay, be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. Okay, what you want me to say? Okay, I'll be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm going to just text back.
Okay, now that...
Okay.
I agree with that part.
Yeah, with stuff like that, I can totally see,
That's where I'm coming from when I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm more saying, like, when I'm having an actual conversation with somebody, and, especially, like, in the dating scene. You're texting, you're having a great conversation, and then all of a sudden, it's like, cool. That's the only thing you get back.
Right.
Okay, or
wonderful.
Yeah. It's like, awesome. How did you expect me to hold on to a conversation?
Then I'm picking up the phone.
Right.
Once again, it's like, okay, your communication skills are not necessarily where I'm wanting to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But once again, like you said, it could be other circumstances. They can have kids, they can be doing other things, so on and so forth. So therefore,
justifying.
I'm not justifying. I'm being illogical. I'm being more logical than emotional. Okay, I'm being more logical than emotional.
Okay, Ryan. But let me ask you this: if you say I'm going to pick up the phone, how do you feel? How do you guys feel about when you're texting somebody and you're having a full blown conversation, right? And then you're like, you know what? And you do decide to pick up the phone to get clarity, and then they don't answer. You're like, we were just talking.
Then there ain't no more texting.
And then it's just done.
Right.
That's how I rotate.
Okay.
Ain't no more texting. It's like, okay, I'll hear from you when I hear from you.
Yeah.
Or if I hear from you, you're going to hear from me when you hear from me.
Mm-hmm.
That part right there. I can't tell you how many conversations I've fallen off because I'm just like, the texting either gets boring or it gets one-worded. At that point, I'm like, seriously? I'm going to try to pick up the phone to continue to save this conversation if I feel like it's worth saving.
Right.
To call you to be like, your texts are boring, or I'm just going to stop texting you because I feel like there's no life in this conversation, I'm not going to be the only person talking. It's like when you go on a date and you're literally the only one talking, saying anything, it's like,
right.
I'm basically on a date with myself.
Right.
Why would I want to do that,
Right.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I really feel like, as Ryan says, it depends on the person because it depends on their personality.
I think a lot of breakups have happened over texting, honestly. Just
that
because...
too.
You know what I mean? You got all these different styles, but then you also have interpretation.
Right. The interpretation.
You're literally
Interpretation.
hearing it how you think they would normally talk to you. You literally hear their head in your voice, their voice in your head when you're reading it. So you're interpreting it. But what if it's wrong? What if people are? What if you are busy? What if you're doing with a flat tire? Whatever. How many have you guys ever done that? You like went off on somebody, and then they're like, "Well, I was in the emergency room. I was doing the flat tire. I was doing, whatever." Okay. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they just act like nothing happened. No, you acted crazy, and it is an emergency. So I'm just saying, slow down before you act crazy and just go off on somebody, because then it might actually be dealing with something right there.
So so the one word kind of conjoins with the emoji. Emoji text.
Right, the emoji texture.
Well, I'm not no good at texting then, because I do all of this. I do the emojis, the everything. But once again, like I said, the thumbs up.
That's your
the smile. Mark. Things like that, because it's like,
okay,
right. I'm just like, right, okay, I get it, I got it.
Yes,
that's me. That's me personally.
Right. But you're more of a, I'm only texting you because I can't pick up the phone and have a conversation, or it's not worth a conversation on the phone. It's you're saying, okay, I got to be here at this date and time. Cool. I'm just responding to say I got the message. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, exactly. So I completely understand that kind of texting. Because you're more of a, I'm going to call somebody if I got something important to say. If I'm texting you, is because I need to hear what you need to know that I know you're here, right. But I'm not having a conversation right now. Exactly. I'm busy, so I completely understand where you're coming from on that one.
And that cracks me up, like when I see people still texting you back with LOL. I'm like, even I don't even text back LOL. I'm like, oh, you must have a flip phone. Or not, an original flip phone. An original, not the new age flip phone, but original flip phone. Because it's like, don't you have a hee ha ha emoji, a laughing emoji or something
and now,
like that?
What were you showing me the other day how to set up like a personal, like it's a personalized emoji type thing where it actually follows your facial expressions.
So for you iPhone users, because you Android users are too far behind in technology. But your Memoji.
Shots fired.
Boom, boom, boom. So your Memoji, on iPhone you can actually set up an emoji that looks like you, and it will record you, with your facial features, your voice, and everything. It'll interact as you. So I was teaching Amber how to do that the other day, because
But here's what you need to teach our viewers is how to get a damn emoji that actually looks like you.
That was my defense right there. That was my defense for the Android.
That's what you think you look like?
Yeah.
Wow.
You do not look like that.
Honey, that was you in high school. Okay, you need to go and fill a few wrinkles and some pounds on that picture. Did they have a double chin part where you can actually put a double chin?
No, they don't have a double chin part. Because
everybody's skinny as heck on them emojis,
Well, of course. I mean, I'm going to make myself look real skinny.
Yeah,
and I'm going to make myself look good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's why I don't use my emojis. Mm-hmm. God dog it. I use my actual face. I'll send you a picture if I got something to really say. Because even then, my emojis can't capture my facial, like that blank stare I give you.
If for some reason I outlive DJ Houston, we already have a agreement that I'm going to open his funeral with his sound effects that he does. That cracks me up. And his face, it is so funny because his face matches it up, but his emoji actually looks really good. All right, what's the last one? We got to take a break, guys. We're super excited. We have a brand new friend of the show. Can't wait to tell you about.
So the very last one that we're talking about right here was Ryan kind of went into it, was the Emoji Texture.
Yeah.
So when you're an Emoji Texture, you're truthful and you're outgoing. Kind of a spontaneous kind of person.
Maybe you just don't know how to spell.
But you're sweet, you're simple.
Like I said, simple.
Again, honest. Apparently when you use emojis, you're just completely honest. I don't understand. And it says you like to express your humor through texting. Now, there is a topic on here that we don't have that I really feel like we should have put on, so I'm going to mention it.
Okay.
But what about the texters that just text in memes or GIFs? Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trust me. I mean, there's people that text threads go viral because of this. You know what I mean? Who can find the best meme? Who can find the best this? So, and I feel like
it's a time and a place, though. If you're trying to have a serious conversation and somebody's sending you memes, I will cuss you out. Talk to me. And the worst thing you can do is send a meme. And did you guys know it is illegal to solicit, meaning it is illegal to send beat a below your waist picture to anybody unsolicited, you can go to jail if you send a unsolicited nude. Did y'all know that?
I did not know that, and I got plenty of people in my DMs right now that I'm gonna be ratting out later. Ooh, watch out! When the homo come knocking on your door, I'm pressing charges.
So you in trouble?
Yes, you is.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but we are super excited because we have a big announcement here on the show today. We have a brand new friend of the show. Y'all check it out. We're going to show y'all a little video so you can learn more about Events and Adventures. They are the largest private social club in America and in Canada. They have 13 locations, and they have virtual events as well, up to 200 virtual events a month. That is mind-blowing. I mean, that is amazing.
Woo!
There's no reason anymore, if you're single, no matter COVID or not, there's no reason that you cannot meet people. And as we always say on the show, even before they became a friend of the show, I've said this for years, and even on the news, the best way to meet people is at events. Go where
Absolutely.
it's common interest.
Yep.
And then, like, if we're meeting at an event, I can hang out, I can know your friends in your circle, and you can kind of tell me some, the 411 on this person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you actually get to meet people in natural environment based on common interests, because they do up to 50 in-person events a month as well.
Okay.
And you get to meet people based on the events you pick.
And not only that, but now they do online events as well.
Yeah.
So you have virtual events where, so if you don't want to leave the house yet because, you're still scared of COVID or whatever, you can still meet people virtually. So you can also, get out there and still mingle without having to have the fear of COVID or the fear of whatever it is, that you have. So check it out, guys. I'm extremely excited for this. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm just so busy as it is, I would be on there every day doing some of these events, because I'm telling you, like, they have some fun stuff.
And that's probably the one thing that ENA says they hear the most is that people are too busy to actually get out and meet people. But when you think about it, that's the whole point of them having 50 events a month, so that anytime, 7 days a week, you
Whenever
can
you're
find
free.
something. But honestly, my favorite thing about it is that before they went virtual, they had 13 locations, but you could only go if you were in a major city. Now, anybody in the world really truly can join these events. And so you can make friends from all over the world, which is great because they travel in groups around the world as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I know if you're in the surrounding cities of, like, the big areas, you definitely, so, like, if you're, how Texas is extremely big. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you stay over, like, in the Austin area, but you don't have one over in Austin, you can still come do some events over here in Houston. And
they do events together, like their camping trips, like Houston and Dallas will do stuff together. And it's really great because now that you get on the events, you can make the friends before you actually go, and you actually meet like-minded individuals. What are you going to say, Ryan?
No, I know the both of you are a little more technically advanced than I am on the technology side, okay? With all these virtual events and everything like that going on, because people fall in love over the phone virtually and everything like that. But can people get intimate virtually? Have they figured that out yet?
I think they figured that out when cell phones came out. It's called sexting.
You said yourself up for
I'm like through the phone, through the computer. We're not there yet.
It's pretty.
I'm
just trying to figure it out because
I'm like, remember when they first came out with Skype? Because Skype was like the original too. People were Skyping each other and having.
Yeah, but I mean,
they were having sex, and because I actually saw back in the day, I'm not gonna say how, where, when, or why, but I actually saw, swingers used to do that. Like, they would sit there and they would have sex on camera while other couples watch, and and I'm just like,
that's not what events and adventures is about.
It's not, but
right,
I'm just saying that
that's my fault. I'm just.
I think they have gotten that point of technology down. Right?
Okay, I'm about to say, because if you could,
let me write
like Freddie,
back
like
in.
Freddie,
all right, sure.
yeah.
All right, so we will be right back after a few words from our friends over at Events and Avenger. I would say Avengers.
Well, hold on. I just want to say one more thing.
Okay.
I just want to say this one thing. You must be able to pass a federal background check.
Oh.
You must be legally single. And the great thing about it is every interview is screened by a member representative so that they make sure that you're safe. And so that's the big thing in today's world is being safe and going to a place where people actually invest in themselves to get out there.
Teacher, can I ask a question, teacher?
Yes.
My hands up. So when you say legally single, does that mean I have to be
Filed for
divorced,
divorce.
widowed?
You have to at least have filed for divorce.
Okay.
And you have to sign an affidavit saying that's true. We need to know your date. And if we find out you're lying, we'll kick you out and keep your money. So make sure you are legally
Fair
single.
enough.
No games, no BS. But get out and meet some people. And guess what? Even if you're not looking for somebody romantically, this is the only resource out there where you can make friends, especially if you're new to your city. So y'all check it out.
So you can't reach out and touch, huh?
Hey singles, do you feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Maridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Hey guys, it's your girl matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal, and today I am bringing you my brand new book, hot off the press, guys. I have so many copies of these. Please get one, okay? It is called How My Kitty Betrayed Me, and it's about the women's lib movement and how one thing they don't tell you is, yes, we want money, education, and rights like men, but one thing that the women's rights movement doesn't explain to you is how we're still women. We still attach, we release a chemical in our brain that attaches us to every single person we have sex with. It's called soul ties. And one thing I can tell you that will keep you from your God-given purpose, let your kitty betray you when you get distracted, okay? All I'm trying to say is, you know, we want all the same rights as men, but at the end of the day, picking your partner is the most important decision you'll ever make. And so I challenge you to get a copy of my book today so that you can learn from my mistakes that I made, thinking that, hey, if men can do it, so can we. But trust and believe, after being a single parent for 25 years, your kitty betrayed you, okay? Get your copy today, amberneal.com. Or more information, go to Amber Neal Show on Facebook. Get your copy. I'll be glad to autograph it. Hey guys, welcome back into the Amber Neal Show. Today we have had some really fun discussions over what kind of texter that you may be. So as it turns out, let me see which one I am. I am the quick multiple texter, which means I'm energetic and impatient, open and honest. Texting comes easy because conversation comes easy. Y'all welcome in my co-host Ryan and DJ Houston. So what y'all style?
What's my style?
Yeah.
I'm a combination, but I'm definitely not the quick multiple texter.
Definitely not that one. Yeah, that's definitely
That's the
me.
first one I'd eliminate.
Yeah, I want to say I'm a little bit of all of them. I really am.
I can be.
I'm mostly the paragraph texter because the short little single ones drive me up the wall, especially when it ends up being a whole paragraph.
I can see that because that's probably when my daughter gets mad when I do that, because it's like instead of doing a paragraph, I'll just, because I want to give you time to read it, so I'll let you read it and I'll say my next thought. That's all.
And she's like, "Hey, ding, what are you doing? Ding, how was your day? Ding, did you know that this is going on today? Ding."
Wake your butt up. All right, guys. So we're going to jump back into our show with our next topic today is 9 things that your emotions are trying to tell you. Y'all go visit our friends over at Events and Adventures. Tell them that you saw it on the Amber Neal Show or Boss Up Houston Network, and they're going to give you a hookup. Y'all, the hashtag is Boss Up 6 months free. Basically, they're going to give you 18 months for the price of 12 months when you say you heard it over here at Boss Up or the Amber Neal Show. Hey, it's added to purchase. Not 6 months free. It's 6 months free with purchase. Okay, don't get my words twisted. That ain't what I said. But y'all call them eventsandadventures.com or go call them toll free 1-800-386-0866, or you can go on their website and you can chat with a live representative and set your appointment. Actually, you can go on the website and set your appointment. You don't have to speak to anyone before you actually get to your appointment, but your appointment is to screen you to make sure you are single, financially stable, emotionally available, and ready and committed to go have fun, because they know 1 or 2 event signups it's not going to give you a good visual and idea of the club. You got to get out and you got to be committed to going. It's the only way it's going to work. So y'all check out our friends at eventsandadventures.com. Tell them you heard about us here at Boss Up Houston Network or the Amber Neal Show and get 6 months free. All right, guys. So 9 things your emotions are trying to tell you. This is interesting. So we'll jump through these pretty quickly. The first one is bitterness. Especially when it comes to dating. So many times, I've said this so many times, people need date coaching, not matchmaking, because a lot of times people go through divorce or a bad breakup and they feel bitter as all get out. Bitterness it gives you a hint where the grudge is hiding so that you can find out where the brokenness is and what needs healing. But if you're walking around and you're saying every man ain't ish, every woman is a bee, every woman is, you know what I'm saying, and everybody, you're just bitter. Have y'all ever dealt with one of your friends being bitter and tried to date?
Oh, absolutely.
Or even try to have a marriage and they're bitter because the first husband made them mad
all the time.
How do y'all handle that do you feel comfortable to tell your friends, hey, you might be dealing with some bitterness right now? Or because I feel like if you're a real friend, you should be able to be honest with that. But it's all in the delivery.
Oh, well, you know me. You know what kind of friend I am. I don't care about delivery. I am the most blunt person ever. Because when I'm trying to convey something to you for your better health, I'm not worried about your feelings or your emotions. Right. I'm worried about how, you're portraying yourself to everybody. So I'm just going to be straight blunt force. That's the way I do everything. So sometimes, depending on the person, because sometimes when they're bitter, it can be because of depression.
Right.
So, like, if somebody's bitter because they're depressed, I will never, ever be like, you're so bitter. Like, because generally speaking, that pushes them down the hole a little bit more. Yeah. So, now, if it's somebody that I know that's usually not depressed and they're just in one of those moods all day long, I straight up will tell them, like, you're killing everybody's vibe over here because you're being so Nancy, a negative Nancy is what I like to say, all the time. So, I'll straight up tell them, you're being a negative Nancy. I don't care if that hurts their feelings or not.
What you say, Ryan? Because, for me, forgiveness is the key to becoming unbitter. You have to forgive those people that hurt you.
Right,
what do you say?
Right. Because you'll be holding on to it, and it's going to affect your life. It's going to affect everything in your life. But when it comes to that, I'm more so like DJ. Well, first, I'm not going to be as blunt initially. But like you said, the second part of what you were saying, okay? Or you going to keep on talking about it, or you going to keep on being bitter, you going to keep on being negative Nancy. Guess what? You need to calm down, like, real quick, for the simple fact that I don't want to talk around you. I don't want to be around you, okay? So, would you rather be bitter, or would you rather us continue to be around each other? And that's what it comes down to. Because, like, oh, you think that I'm about to agree with you or jump on this pity party? No. So after a while, it's like, oh, you still talking about this, huh? Or you still talking about that? So then I'll get on.
That kind of reminds me of that person that we met, what was it, like a week ago? The one that just was so negative about everything. No matter what we said was just so negative. And was just focusing on the negativity. Like, I've been hated on so many times. Everybody who's successful gets hated on a lot. The difference between the people who are successful and the people who are stuck at trying to become successful is the fact that they don't care what the haters say. They keep moving on. They don't live around it. They're like, thank you for talking about me. Keep my name relevant.
People above you will not talk about you. Okay? They won't. They don't have time. They're hustling. They're grinding. and people beneath you can't. So at the end of the day, you need to stay present, not worry about that. You can't please them all. Everybody's got an opinion. You know what they say about that. And so when it comes to people, if you're focused on your haters, at the end of the day, to get over bitterness, you have to ask yourself, do I want to be bitter or do I want to be better?
Right.
And if I want to be better, it has to start with me being in my own truth about why I'm bitter and where is the grudge hiding? Where is it in me, so I can figure out what's broken in me and what I need to feel? Because sometimes you need to be okay with it. You're never going to get that apology. You're never going to get to that understanding. You're never going to get that answer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes you just need to be okay and let them go, because one thing I have lived long enough, this is the beauty of being our age, is you live long enough to see karma is real. And honey, she may wait 30, 40 years, but she is going to get you. So be careful. What's the next one, guys?
Well, I guess I'll take on the next one. So the next one says, we're talking about 9 different emotions that they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to give you some type of clue at what's going on with your life. The next one would be anxiety. Anxiety tries to bring you back to the present while you're still stuck in the past, or you're too scared to step into the future. That's all anxiety is. It's living in a fear base. And something that we try to teach out here constantly, the law of attraction. If you live in that fear base, that's all you're ever going to attract is that fear base. And that's what anxiety is. It's just trying to pull you out of that. Even though some people dive into that anxiety and live with that. They're just like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling anxious, so I'm just going to keep feeling anxious. Instead of saying, oh, I'm feeling anxious, let me step back and figure out, why am I feeling anxious? What's going on here? What's the big deal, Instead of saying, or just saying, let me dump all my problems on, the man above, or the whatever you like to call it above. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's really what anxiety is. And that was something I had to learn a long time ago. I used to have panic attacks like crazy, to the point where I'd have to get rushed to the hospital because my panic attacks would turn into an asthma attack because I'm sitting here and I'm hyperventilating and going crazy. And so I had to finally step back and say, why am I getting anxious all the time? What is it? It's because I'm afraid of something. So I step back, and instead of being afraid of it now, I take it head on. Like, who cares? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. To tell you the truth, like, we cannot live in fear or anxiety because if I would have, the day that I decided to become the entrepreneur, if I would have said, no, it's too scary, like I tried to say, I wouldn't be DJ Houston right now. I wouldn't be where I am. So, you have to learn to really just take that anxiety, and instead of going down with it, say, I see what you're saying. You're trying to say, devil wants me to say, I'm scared. I'm not going to do this. It's too scary. I don't know what's going to happen. No. Take it down. Say, I got this. We're going to move forward. I'm a strong person. I'm not going to let fear control me anymore.
And fortunately for me, I've never been the kind of person that deals with depression. I've always been anxious because I'm just like always in the future planning. But that's the thing about anxiety. You got to stand today. Anxiety, tomorrow has enough of its own problems. And for me, I don't know about you, Ryan, but for me, it got to the point where I was just like, I am either operating in faith or I'm not. Yeah. It's just that black and white. What about you?
And no in between. That's right. Because once again, from the anxiety side, the way that we're presenting it right here, being overly anxious and, like Jacob said, it affects your body, it affects your world. Okay, so you need to calm down, because there's a difference between anxiety and excitement. Okay, because you can be excited and you can feel your emotions getting raised up and everything like that, and you try to calm them down, because in the profession that I used to be in, I had to always control my emotion. I couldn't get too hyped one way or the other, or my head gonna get knocked off. Okay, so what I want to do? I want to keep chirping back with this guy over here because that's what he does. Nah, let me calm back and get back to where I need to be in order to go where I need to go.
Exactly. What's the next one, Ryan?
The next one is guilt. Okay? Ooh. Guilt. Tells you that it's time to let go of other people's expectations of you. Well, as far as touching on that, other people's expectations of you, if you live the life that everyone else wanted you to live, then you'll be living their life, right? We were all put here to do certain things, and if you're feeling guilty on the inside, it's because of you're not, personally, because I'm not meeting the expectations that I place for myself inside, versus later for everybody else, when it comes down to it, and that's just being straight up and point blank when it comes to me. I've never, can't say never, but very small percentage of the time of my life have I tried or have I felt guilt because I didn't do what someone else expected.
That's their truth.
Yeah, what they expected of me. Okay.
And that's why you become as successful as you have, because you know how to sit there and say, Psh, I don't care what everybody else says. You know what I'm saying? Is about what my focus is and what I say about myself.
Right.
You learned that self-love journey a long time ago.
Because my motto is live your life, okay? As long as you're not hurting somebody directly
That part.
and on purpose, okay? Some people might get their feelings hurt because you didn't do what they expected you to do, but it's like, I'm not put here to do everything that you think that I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
Okay? I didn't do it intentionally to hurt you.
And the thing is, guys, if let's say that you did do something that you feel guilty over. Maybe you did mistreat somebody. Maybe you made a mistake. We're all freaking human. It's okay. Forgive yourself. I think that's so much of the self-love journey is getting rid of the guilt you feel for allowing yourself to go through some of these situations. At the end of the day, you have to forgive you. You have to forgive everybody involved. And I think forgiveness, honestly, with all the things we're going to talk about today, really is the solution for everything we're going over. But because of time, we're going to jump through and wrap up these last ones pretty quickly. The next one is resentment. Resentment is an emotion that's trying to tell you that you've been stuck in the past for too long and you should finally embrace the present moment. So that beats it up. What's the next one?
Oh, well, that next one is discomfort.
Disappointment.
Oh, is that where?
Yeah.
Discomfort.
No,
Oh,
it's discomfort. I was like, no. I was like, I could have swore you said resentment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So discomfort induces change. You take all the chances that you were given, and you use them the right way. So basically, you just it's trying to make you feel like the second guess. Your second gut, basically. Like it's just trying to show you, like make sure that this is what you want to do. It's not saying not to do it. It's just saying make sure that this is the right path. Check yourself. Everything has a check and balance system. You know what I'm saying? Like down from our government. Like it's just that's all it is. It's your check and balance system. It's just making sure that you're not double guessing yourself, but you're making sure you're going down the right path.
That's right.
You're not going to change in the comfort zone. Period.
Right. Exactly.
Change comes from the uncomfortable
Exactly.
zone. All right, Ryan, what's next?
That's right. Disappointment. Remind you of all the failures and unsuccessful attempts that you should accept and let go of. Okay? So once again, you are your own worst enemy, whether you realize it or not. Okay? And only you can be more disappointed in yourself than anyone else when it's all said and done. Okay? So guess what? As long as you're living, you're learning. All right? I learned that a long time ago from a very wise woman, which was my grandmother.
I thought I was going to say Amber. Sorry, Grandma. I didn't mean to say your shine there.
But
hey, Grandma and Amber. Okay.
yeah.
I was like, she gonna get it in
I
there.
ain't no grandma, but I'm just saying.
So as I said, rest her soul. As long as
Yes.
you're living, you're learning. Okay.
Amen.
So the more disappointed you are, and the more you stay stuck on what I call stupid, and that's where you're gonna stay. Okay. But you have to learn from your mistake, learn from your disappointment, and keep it moving.
And how boring would life be if you didn't have to learn, if you couldn't learn something new?
That's right.
Like, I mean, that you plateau at like 30.
A fool. I
mean,
know it all. I know it all.
yeah.
I know it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Ask a teenager while they still know everything. All right, guys. And then the last few here is anger. Anger will eat you alive from the inside. It will have you destroying your life in every single sense of the word. Because honestly, nobody wants to be around somebody that's angry all the time. But anger leads you to the things that you cannot tolerate and unleashes your nature. So if you find that somebody is pulling you out of your joy and constantly making you mad, that is your clue that is resistance. And where there's resistance, that means it's not right for you. What's the next one, DJ?
Absolutely. The next one is sadness. Sadness leads you to the deepest corners of your soul. oof, that part right there, which feels the need to care for others.
Yeah.
So, so when you're feeling sad, it's because you need to care for somebody. You need something or something.
You feel lonely.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have those crazy cat ladies. Because sadness gets them, and they feel like they have to have a million cats.
Don't look at me. I rescued some cats because my sister passed away. Okay, let's get it straight. I didn't have no animals before she passed away. So. He talking about me, and I ain't feeling guilty, but I do have some cats. Okay, but they ain't mine. Okay, just for the record.
You see how she's trying to justify it?
Hey,
She's trying to justify
it. Hey. Okay, we all know I can prevent that one. All right, Ryan, what's the last one? We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to give you our afterthoughts.
That last one is shame. Okay, tells you what you might be drowning in other people's beliefs, and you need to rejoin your true self before it dissolves completely. So once again, it's all about how you feel about yourself,
Amen.
not about how other people feel about you. Okay.
That's right. You're only as sick as your secrets, as they say. That's why you got to get it out there. You got to talk to somebody about it. So, guys, we hope this has helped you kind of maybe process, because sometimes you know how we feel emotions and we don't really know what the emotion is, or we're trying to describe, or we're trying to get to how we're feeling. So y'all check it out and share this with some friends, and so they can kind of dissect what kind of texture they are, what their emotions are trying to tell them. Because trust me, if you deal with the most annoying texture on the planet, you're going to go through all these emotions in about 30 minutes, okay? That's why it's important to know what kind of texture you are, guys. When we come back, we're going to take a quick little break from our friends over at Events and Adventures in Meridate, and we're going to find out more information on how you can get a copy of our book. When we come back, we're going to give you our afterthought. Y'all stay tuned.
Singles. Do you feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Meridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Hey guys, it's your girl matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal, and today I am bringing you my brand new book, hot off the press, guys. I have so many copies of these. Please get one, okay? It is called How My Kitty Betrayed Me, and it's about the women's lib movement and how one thing they don't tell you is, yes, we want money, education, and rights like men, but one thing that the women's rights movement doesn't explain to you is how we're still women. We still attach, we release a chemical in our brain that attaches us to every single person we have sex with. It's called soul ties. And one thing I can tell you that will keep you from your God-given purpose, let your kitty betray you when you get distracted, okay? All I'm trying to say is, you know, we want all the same rights as men, but at the end of the day, picking your partner is the most important decision you'll ever make. And so I challenge you to get a copy of my book today so that you can learn from my mistakes that I made, thinking that, hey, if men can do it, so can we. But trust and believe, after being a single parent for 25 years, your kitty betrayed you, okay? Get your copy today, amberneal.com.
Hey, how's everybody today? This is Mr. Believe So You Can Achieve, Ryan Yarbrough, okay? A little earlier today, we were talking about texting styles and how they correlate with your personality and also how they may go along with your emotional style. All right. Me personally, okay, I come from a different era. All this texting and all this me trying to explain everything by typing and everything like that. I don't have time for all that. I'm more so of a phone caller. So I'm more so the type of guy that's gonna give you one word text, okay, because that's how I am. I'm not into explaining everything about my life. That's how I am emotionally and personally as well. But guess what? Nothing is wrong with texting, regardless of how you do it, when you do it, or where you do it. But on the emotional side, always remember this. Only you control how you want to get your point across, and only you can control how you want to convey yourself. So when it's all said and done, text how you want to text, be as emotional as you want to be, but bottom line, make sure that you can live with yourself and sleep at night. All right? So until the next time, always believe so you can achieve. Peace.
All right, guys. This is your girl, matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal. Today's show is really hilarious to me because I am definitely guilty of being one of those quick texters. But I cannot stress you guys enough today because, as I was saying on the show, texting can really affect you and put you in all these different emotions. But the reality of it is, guys, I want to give you a little bit of dating advice here. If you really like somebody, save your conversation for at least on the phone. At least be able to engage. 55% of communication is nonverbal. So you don't want to have text communication over things that are really serious. You want to let them hear your voice and see your face and so they can kind of interpret a little bit better. So if it's really important, save it for in person. If it's really serious, you can say, hey, I want to talk to you. I've got something on my mind. You can shoot that short little text. But save the depth of the conversation for when you're actually face to face. The more senses that you actually can engage, hearing, sound, touch, engage all of those things, because the more you leave them up to guess, the more they're going to put up to interpretation, and the more mistakes that can come out through that. I cannot tell you how many times I have dealt with people who have had breakups or even borderline divorce, all because of the way people have different texting styles. So I recommend, guys, today, my advice for today's show is when you go on a date, when you're just meeting somebody, or maybe if you've been having problems in your relationship with your communication, sit down and have that conversation. What is your texting style? Why do you text like that? And or maybe why do you take 12 hours to answer my text, right? You got to find out how they communicate, because like with my daughter, she's a paragraph texter and I'm a quick multiple texter, and it annoys her. But now after doing this topic today, I kind of can see why. So conversation is key, guys. Communication is everything. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. For more information about me, y'all check me out at amberneal.com. We'll see you next time here on The Amber Neal Show.
What's up, guys? It's your boy DJ Houston. It is time for that afterthought. Today we were talking about texters, the different type of texters that we have. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a little bit of each and every one of them, just kind of depending on the mood that I'm in. Like, you can really know that I'm in a really mad mood or in a very fast-paced mood if I'm sending you the single-lined messages right then and there, because I'm just trying to convey a message really fastly. Now, if I'm really, really mad at you, I'm going to send you a message that is like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, maybe even 3 paragraphs long, because I'm just really trying to show you all my emotions at one time, so you can sit there and stew while reading that text message. And then, of course, we were talking about our emotions, the 9 things that your emotions are trying to tell you. And I cannot stress enough about how anxiety is one of the emotions that you really shouldn't dive into too much. Really, like, once you start feeling anxious, step back. Take a deep breath and start thinking, why am I scared? What is going on? What is making me scared of going to the future? Anyway, guys, well, it was a great show right here on the Amber Neal Show. Make sure y'all catch us every weekend now on Boss Up Houston Network at 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. And of course, catch us on A-Star on Mondays. I'm so excited about that. That's such an amazing thing. So make sure y'all guys catch us at 7 p.m. on the A-Star Network. And we will see y'all here next time on The Amber Neal Show. Thanks, guys. Bye. See y'all later.